What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got Google Dota 2 2016 Team A3. Looks like these guys are Google Team E, and we've got them going up against $6 million Echo Slam representing Echo Global Logistics. I have taken a little bit of a break. I was traveling for the last 2 weeks, so I've got a lot of games to cast before the playoffs, which started today. So got like 3 weeks of games to catch up on. We'll see how quickly I can get through these. So let's get into the draft. So we're gonna open with a Night Stalker ban. A little bit interesting. This game is from like 3 weeks ago, so it's pre the Disneyland Major, that one, but after the minor, so the meta is a little bit stale at this point, but it might be a little bit different, but we'll see. I think mostly we're probably going to see the same heroes. We're going to see Drow, we're going to see Oracle, Morphling if they play it. I haven't seen either of these teams play Morphling yet. Doom, Nyx, Razor, great heroes all around. $6 million Echo Slam banning Earthshaker again. I think I've seen this pretty much every game I've seen from them now. A bit unfortunate that they don't want to relive the hype of the TI5 Echo Slam. C'est la vie. Well, this is going to be a bit of a slow draft. Already going into reserve time, something not too common in the first phase. Maybe not thinking about these drafts ahead of time. Oh. Can see Lifestealer ban. I mean, Lifestealer's kind of fallen off. I don't think we saw him at all. Very rarely at the major. Everyone is, just picking Drow. But he just needs too much time to get online. You gotta get that Midas radius before you're even remotely ready to fight. Even the Midas by itself isn't enough anymore. Even though the attack speed is still the same, you don't get as much gold from the Midas anymore. Just repeatedly nerfed patch after patch, for a good reason. It was a bit ridiculous before. Alright, now we're gonna see Bristleback banned. Not a hero that's too common these days. Bristleback feels very underwhelming now. He needs to get a lot of levels early on, and everyone's dual laning for the most part, and he definitely can't keep up against tri-lanes anymore. So it's just the main reason we don't see Bristleback anymore. So an interesting ban coming out of Echo Global Logistics. Not too sure about this one.
5 seconds remain.
Again, going into the reserve time for Google Team E. Not really sure what's happening with them here. It looks like this is going to be a pretty slow draft.
Dire's ban.
Gonna ban Templar Assassin. It's a little bit early. Usually you pick TA into an enemy mid. So it makes sense that Google TE ban it, but they should probably ban it later on. You can't pick TA that early because there's a lot of things that counter TA, but TA also counters a lot of stuff. But Echo Global Logistics has the final pick of the draft. It would make more sense to see TA then. So a bit of a wasted ban coming out of Google Team E, in my opinion. I'm gonna see Ricky banned out for Echo Global Logistics. It's I mean, it's a best of one, and Ricky, he's kind of an X factor. I remember seeing Ricky from was it Team Workday or Amazon Prime Courier? There was like it was one of the Amazon teams ran Ricky, but it was very underwhelming. He didn't really achieve very much. The best he did was slow down the Drow Ranger's farm by standing next to her so she couldn't get marksmanship procs in the jungle. But other than that, the Ricky had very little impact. That's kind of what Ricky feels like right now. He definitely does need a lot of farm. But yeah, it's just a best of one ban. Ricky is pretty uncomfortable playing up against. So Google Team E gonna open with Dazzle. Also another hero we don't see too often anymore. It seems like he's very all in on the poison touch now. The rest of his spells just kind of suck. You have to max poison touch first, but then his other spells are really bad at level 1. So it's just not a hero we see too often. He's not good enough to be a mid laner anymore. Not really sure what changed about that. The mana cost of Poison Touch went up a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it makes too much of a difference. And an immediate axe pick by Echo Global Logistics to chop through that Dazzle Shallow Grave. I like this a lot. Also the Venge to have a save. This Venge is a nice flex pick as well. She can go into the safe lane or the off lane. She can play 4 or 5, may even see a carry Venge in a very rare scenario, probably unlikely. So Google team gonna open up with their support duo, Dazzle Shadow Shaman. It's a pretty squishy duo, so they may get bullied quite a bit. Axe actually doesn't do that well against Dazzle in the lane. Poison Touch really hurts Axe because Poison Touch is great for long fights and Axe usually wants long fights. So it's kind of like a... it counters Axe in the lane, but then counters Dazzle. Axe counters Dazzle far later in the game. So you gotta pick up Shadow Shaman as the position 4. He's a pretty strong hero right now. He's had a lot of success throughout this patch. A hero who can end the game from the support position is always great. And in that 4 position, you can rush that Aether Lens and get that ridiculous cast range Shackle and Hex. Just hex them from the trees. They've got the Vengeful Spirit to save people in case they get shackled for a billion years. You have to... Well, there's 2 ways you can swap the Shadow Shaman, and another thing we see with Shadow Shaman these days, everyone is going for a BKB rush after Aether Lens. Like, skip Blink entirely, go Aether Lens, and then into BKB. Venge can deal with that really well with the swap. So, we'll see what the Shadow Shaman decides to go for this game. Definitely do want to see Aether Lens instead of Blink. The build up is a lot easier, and you really do need the mana and the mana regen to really sustain your impact. You don't want to just blow all your mana in one fight and then be useless. You have to go back and heal in base. It's always nice to be able to regen up after fights or between fights. And always show up to fights with full mana. You can also then not feel too bad about using your Ether Shock to farm. I can see Troll and PL. Trolls, yeah, Troll we see a lot, but PL just feels like he's in the dumpster right now, especially against Axis. Not a very good hero. Oh, actually no, I depth pretty hard there. Google Team E ban PL, and yeah, PL will do really well against the 2 supports on the side of Google Team E right now. He'd eat them up for breakfast. The other side, we're going to see Slark and Dusa banned. I don't think we see Slark very often anymore. He just... suffers from similar problems as Lifestealer, but with the addition that he's not very good at straight up fights. You want to skirmish a bit and find pickoffs on the back lines. So, gonna see Warlock coming out of Echo Global Logistics. Some big team fight coming out. We don't see Warlock very often anymore either. His mana cost went up by far too much. You can cast like 3 Shadow Words now, and then you're completely out of mana. And they cost a lot of mana, so you can't just like use a. You can use. It takes like the full mango to use the Shadow Word again. So you don't have any like extra left over after the mango to, like, you know, maybe get to that next Shadow Word. It's a little bit rough to be a Warlock player right now, but it's also another great long distance way to cancel the shackles, so not too bad. Also some nice team fight to go with the axe. It's okay. It also like sort of secures the lane for Echo Global Logistics carry, because alright, now we're gonna see. Here we're in business. The Medusa banned out, but the Drow Ranger is still gonna come out. This is definitely the carry of the patch right now. Just not. It just feels so difficult to fight Drow. She just retreats into the jungle. The rest of her team makes space. They've got the Dazzle and the Shadow Shaman to play really aggressively. And the Dazzle can keep his team topped up, and the Shadow Shaman can pressure towers with the Serpent Wars, while the Drow just sits in the jungle, farms for 15 minutes, comes out with like Shadow Blade, Hurricane Pike, maybe a BKB, and it's just like, what can you do? They do have pretty decent catch on the side of Echo Global Logistics, the Axe and the Venge. You can always try and swap that Drow Ranger in, but it's pretty tough to get in range, especially in the early levels of Nether Swap. So we'll see if the Axe is going to be able to pressure this Drow Ranger pretty hard in lane. But she's also got the Dazzle to heal her up in the lane. Although, like I said earlier, you probably want to match Poison Touch first. That's generally the way to go with Dazzle. The other spells, they're great, but you don't want them in the laning phase. You don't want them early on. So we'll see how this Drow Dazzle, the Drow Dazzle lane does against Axe Venge. Gonna see a lot of pressure come out. There's gonna have, like, hopefully Venge goes for an early point in Wave of Terror. Yeah, so Warlock Spectre, something we used to see all the time when Warlock was pretty busted, and you would see Warlock every game against. He was just able to win every lane by spamming Shadow Word on his carry and heal them up. It's gonna have the same thing here. Spectre just needs a little bit more regen in the early levels. Maybe we'll see like a point or two in Dispersion early on, and she's gonna be very tough to take down. Only a Shadow Shaman right now who does hit pretty hard, but Spectre can largely shrug it off. We're going to see Viper come out as well from Google Team E. A bit of a flex pick coming out, which is okay going into this next ban phase. He can go. Probably going to see a mid Viper. It's very unlikely that we'll see a off lane Viper. It just doesn't feel that good. You need a lot of levels early on Viper to be successful. Another great thing about the Spectre pick is you can always haunt on top of the Drow Ranger, so cancel that marksmanship, put a lot of pressure on her early on. The Viper will do pretty well against the Spectre though. You can break that Dispersion and the Desolate, which is a majority of Spectre's damage for most of the game until she gets maybe 4-slotted. So I do like this Viper pick. Hopefully Google Team E can group up. Now they're going to need an offlaner. I think they need an offlaner who they can group up around. Maybe we'll see Underlord, a pretty common one for this type of lineup. Just someone beefy to sit in front and just draw all the attention for the team. There's also Tidehunter still in the pool. Nice Enigma band from Echo Global Logistics, understanding that they just need someone who'd build all the aura items and some team fight to group up around.
10 seconds to pick.
I mean, Tidehunter would be pretty great here. Does pretty well against Spectre as well. You're gonna see Enchantress. Oh, this is not a hero we see ever. And a sniper response. Yeah, I mean, sniper we saw in the Disneyland major that it's a really good counter against Drow Ranger. You can generally outrange her, and I mean, who's gonna catch the sniper on the side of Google Team E? They don't have anything. There's the Viper who may eventually build an Atos. I mean, Enchantress can slow from a distance, but the enchant range is pretty small. We may see an Ether Lens come out of Enchantress. But Shadow Shaman is really the only disable right now on the side of Google Team E. I'm gonna give this to Echo Global Logistics. The draft feels so much more easy to execute. Just keep the sniper alive, just cause some chaos with the Spectre and the Warlock ulti, and then just win, take the team fight. And the Dazzle is not going to be that relevant either. You can always just chop through the Shallow Grave with the axe. I'm gonna put my money on Echo Global Logistics on this one. The Enchantress is a bit of a question mark pick. I'm not really sure. I don't know. She's still like an okay hero, but it's not. She's seen better days. Especially in that offlane role. I feel like Enchantress right now is probably best in position 5, but even then, it's rough. You're pretty dominant in the laning phase, and afterwards it's like, oh, okay. Oh, what is this? Okay. New anime loading screen thanks to the battle pass. I'm not sure why the sniper was picked there, but let's hop right into the game. On this, on the Radiant side, we've got Google Team E, no regrets, just math on the Shadow Shaman, Watiana on the Enchantress, Phoenix on the Viper, Position 5 on the Dazzle, and Furai on the Drow Ranger. On the side of $6 million Echo Slam, we've got Prancing Pony on the Spectre, Jams on the Axe, Brixton on the Sniper, Fluffy Bunny on the Vengeful Spirit, and Squidlips on the Warlock. So gonna be mid Sniper up against the... Oh, actually gonna be Enchantress in the mid lane. There's some battles going on over home automation systems here. I have an Echo myself, not a Google Home, but my roommate has a Google Home. I do I don't really use my Echo that much myself, but I do kind of. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's like annoying to set up the watching YouTube or like listening to YouTube through my Amazon Echo. They actually are not sure. They didn't realize they're not Amazon, so that's pretty funny. Oh, okay, that's some shade from Wadiana right there. Alright, so it's going to be an offlane Viper and a mid Enchantress who went untouchable level 1. I feel like she's going to still struggle a lot against this Sniper. Sniper's just going to drop a Shrapnel. What the hell is untouchable going to do against the Enchantress? Sniper's been buffed back to the point where he was at his ho-ho-ha-ha days. In the past 6.83 of Dota, the Shrapnel was at a 40-second cooldown. And now it's back to 40. You got nerfed up to 55, and now it's back down to 40. So Sniper's back, boys. There's obviously some mechanic changes with Shrapnel. It doesn't activate instantly. There's a 1-second delay. But other than that, it's the same hero he used to be. So the fact that he's still not first picked every game, even though he's the same as he was before, means there's some huge power creep in Dota, and that's definitely the case. Back then, there were no talents, so you just had to rely on your base kit to scale. And now there's talents, and talents are great. Enchantress's talents are kind of shit, whereas Sniper's talents, they're okay. The cooldown reduction is pretty nice. Gonna see Drow and Warlock actually against the Dazzle and Drow, and an early poison touch is going to put this Axe in a lot of trouble. He might go down here. The Shadow Word goes out onto the Drow instead of onto the Axe. So Axe in a little bit of trouble. We'll be able to heal up through the tangos. Only the level 1 poison touch. It doesn't do that much damage yet, but a little bit. I feel like that was a bit of a misplay from the Warlock. He definitely should have healed up the Axe instead, because Axe, he's forced to, actually he doesn't have a salve with him at all, so he's going to be sitting on low HP. He can't approach the lane for a while. He's going to give the farm over to Warlock. Gonna see that early Ags refresher for Warlock, I guess. Gonna be position 4 Warlock and a position 5 Vengeful Spirit against a Shadow Shaman and a Viper. This is gonna be a pretty rough lane for the Spectre. I think she's gonna get hit a lot by these 80 base damage right clicks from the Shadow Shaman. The Viper as well. Actually gonna go for the Nether Toxin build as expected. He has the Drought Aura, so I was maybe hoping to see an early point in Poison attack. It looks like Spectre's already put a point into Dispersion, but I mean the level 1 Dispersion's not that great. Magic Missile will come out onto the Shadow Shaman, but not gonna result in too much. Oh, actually, Sniper getting pretty low here, getting pressured pretty hard by the Enchantress. 2 points in Untouchable, 1 point in the Nature's Attendant. So it looks like the Enchantress is just running up to the Sniper, but there's level 2 Shrapnel now. Maybe this Enchantress needs to be a little bit careful. She doesn't have a whole lot of HP, but she does have the Nature's Attendant. She's probably not going to die until she hits level 6, until Sniper hits level 6. Not much to fear from the Enchantress. We'll see how much pressure she's able to put onto the Sniper. Sniper very far ahead. Actually, the Warlock just goes down. He gets Poison Touched, and Frost Arrows, a pretty decent amount of slows. 2 points of the Frost Arrows early on. I love this. If you have a kill lane, you should definitely go for the 2 points in Frost Arrows. Slows are multiplicative in Dota, so 16% slows is worse than a 32% slow. So this, but now we have a 14% slow and a 32% slow, so it's probably around a 40% slow. Some guesstimate maths. But yeah, this lane's looking pretty difficult for Google Team. Oh, for Echo. Yeah, Echo Global Logistics actually. Axe only level 2 right now. Yeah, he's gonna go down again. Looks like a nice Shadow Wave to finish off the Axe before I was able to get anything. The Fatal Bonds might finish off the Dazzle. If the Warlock decides to right-click the Drow, but it looks like it's not going to happen. He would have had to do 240 damage, which is not that easy for Warlock to do. So actually, Google Team E off to a great start already. I thought their lanes are pretty strong, but the mid game it's great for for pushing, but if this game goes late, I think Google Team E are in a lot of trouble. So they're on a bit of a timer here to close out this game before Sniper gets big, and the Spectre as well. But already a 2k gold lead, 4 minutes into the game, so pretty good for them. Drow and Viper topping the last hits charts. Sniper's doing pretty well as well. Tread's done on the Drow Ranger already. Actually not going for the Wraith Band spam. I think the Wraith Band spam is better. She doesn't really need the boots this early on because there's a pretty good amount of slow and the axe doesn't have boots yet, so she doesn't really have anything to be afraid of. No points in the Gust yet. Hopefully she'll go for 2-1-2, but we'll see. The Gust is probably not that important right now. It'd be nice to always... It's always nice to Gust the axe away. 5-minute bounty runes coming up. Looks like it's going to be 3 going the way of Google Team E. Oh, actually, okay, no. Dazzle will not get his one. He's just barely not level 3. May have been able to fight the axe there with the level 2 poison touch. We'll see if Dazzle tries to mooch level 3 before he goes for the sniper. It'd be a pretty big power spike for him. Nature's Attendance comes out as well, so the Enchantress won't be able to dive the tower for a little while, but she can always just steal a creep and then use that to tank. And actually a pretty quiet game overall, but the side of Echo Global Logistics, they're struggling a lot with this laning phase. Kind of as expected, they have very weak laners. Avengers isn't that good. Spectre's pretty god-awful. Alright. Sniper, gonna go down here. Just a pretty easy setup. Dazzler will eventually go down to the tower. The credit does go purely to the sniper. Blind Spectral Dagger will completely miss everyone. Bit of a wasted rotation for the Spectre as well. And now Enchantress is level 6. This is getting pretty scary for the sniper. Only has 1 point in take aim, so won't be able to outrange the Enchantress by very much. Only 100 more base damage. And the axe goes down again solo to the Drow Ranger as well. She just hit level 6, and it's a very easy kill for the Drow Ranger with 2 points in the Frost Arrows. Really hard to run away from. The axe doesn't even have boots yet, so already a movement speed disadvantage before the Frost Arrows comes out. And his axe, he can't come to this lane anymore. He just needs to hit the jungle. He's gonna go top into the top shrine. Gonna try and turn it around on this Viper who's diving pretty deep, but they're just gonna back off. 4 heroes in the dire jungle from the side of Echo Global Logistics. The sniper is moving up here to try and salvage this lane a little bit, but meanwhile the Enchantress, she's just gonna pressure this tower a little bit. Wasn't able to steal a catapult earlier, unfortunately, so it's not gonna go down that fast. She's not that good at pushing towers either. So Axe is gonna come up here now, and it looks like they're gonna sack this lane. Actually, this is super bad for a $6 million Echo Slam. They're in a lot of trouble right now. All 3 of their lanes going really poorly. They've already lost the top tower. And usually if you lose all 3 lanes, it's pretty hard to come back into the game. Because now no one can make space. His axe is only level 3. He's not even thinking about a Blink Dagger right now. Enchantress gonna go for a quick Dragon Lance. Maybe we'll see Hurricane Pike as well. Sniper, he went for a triple Wraith Band, not something we see too commonly on Sniper, but it will help him fight a little bit earlier, get that little bit of extra attack speed against the Untouchable. But even then, like, the Untouchable is like minus 270, getting 13, what was it, 13? 6 plus 6, getting 12 attack speed from the Wraith Band is not going to help that much against the Untouchable. Alright, so Drow in a little bit of trouble. He's just going to drop a Shrapnel, and then we'll be able to take out this Drow pretty easily. We'll see how this goes. Walks into the Shrapnel, Assassinate comes out, no Gust. Oh, actually, the Gust was skilled, but she's pretty dead anyway, so nice pick up for the Sniper, getting the position 1 Drow on the enemy team. She's also the top farmer on the Radiant side, so a nice pick up for the Sniper here. Another Shrapnel comes out. The Shadow Shaman could be in a little bit of trouble, but walks out of the Shrapnel in time. Bench not able to catch up to get a Magic Missile. It looks like this is going to be a very slow chase. Spectre is just sitting up here. No mana to Special Dagger out, but she does have a 1 charge to do so. Bench actually just going to straight up feed here. Actually gets the Magic Missile onto the Shadow Shaman. Will end up going down to the Viper, but Axe gets the much needed kill on the Shadow Shaman. He really needs to just catch up. Finally has his boots. Hopefully we'll see Axe go for a blink first. They really need to like change the state of the game on the side of $6 million Echo Slam. Normally you do want the Vanguard first. So just queue up the blink first. They really just need someone to initiate, even if Axe dies afterwards. Oh, Enchantress gonna go for the Spectre. Spectre's gonna go down to the Enchantress. Actually gets denied by the neutral creeps. Enchantress should have taken over a neutral creep, but it's fine. Alright, the Sniper in a lot of trouble as well. Just gets impetused. She doesn't have that much mana left. The Magic Missile's gonna come out, but the Sniper goes down first. Enchantress only had enough mana for 2 more impetuses, but manages to snatch the kill before running out of mana, and 4 bounty runes going the way of Google Team E. And we've got the Drow Ranger as well, so this Enchantress doesn't need attack speed. She should probably just go for an Axe at this point. She's gonna hit so hard with this impetus as well. Alright, Dazzle gonna play around with this Axe a little bit. Actually, Dazzle's only level 4. I'm not really sure why he's so far behind on levels when his team is doing so good. Spent a lot of time rotating, I suppose. Drow Ranger also a little bit lower level than we would expect. No one's been stacking the jungle for her. She's just been playing in this bot lane by herself, so she has gotten a lot of solo experience, but her farm hasn't really skyrocketed in the way that you would expect. But it's fine because her whole team is ahead of the enemy team. At least the 3 cores on her side are higher than all 3 cores on the enemy side. And Warlock in a little bit of trouble with the 3 points in the Frost Arrows. Finally gets a marksmanship proc after many hits, and Warlock he'll go down to the Shadow Poison at last. Wow, the Flaming Fist finishes off the Dazzle from really far away. That's pretty amusing. Meanwhile, Enchantress gets another solo kill on the Vengeful Spirit this time. Out of mana now, so gonna have to go back to base before she can go for any more kills. Top tower also goes down. Serpent Ward's not even learnt by the Shadow Shaman yet. He's only level 5. The supports are really low level this game, but it's working out. Their cores are doing really well. Viper gonna go for an ATOS now. He's got it finished up. So they're going to have some catch on the side of Google Team E, and this game's looking quite grim for $6 million Echo Slam. I kind of thought their laning phase would go badly, but I didn't expect it to go this poorly. The Golem gets farmed up by the Drow Ranger, easy 100 gold. Mid tower getting taken out as well, and they're all ranged as well, so you're going to have a shit ton of attack speed coming out from the Drow. Or this Shadow Shaman's attacking pretty fast, Dazzle's attacking pretty fast as well. And I don't really know how Axe needs to get his blink, but it's going to be pretty hard. Even after he gets it, he needs the blade mail as well, because he's just going to instantly die if he blink holes someone. The Sniper also really struggling now. He's doing pretty decently in the early game, but now no Maelstrom anywhere near in sight. Warlock's going to be the one to go for the Greaves this game. I guess the position for Warlock kind of makes sense, but he's very far away from it. Meanwhile, the Viper going to go for the Greaves now. He's had the ATOS on the courier for a while. Axe will go down eventually to the Dazzle and the Drow. Drow actually going to go down to the Sniper here. Oh, wow, okay, just barely surviving with 15 HP. Only the level 1 Assassinate right now. Viper Strike onto the Sniper, but he's just going to walk out. The Magic Missile not coming out onto the Viper, but it's going to be really hard to pick up this kill. They're already 1 down. Enchantress is here now. Impetus has come out onto the Warlock. Warlock goes down to the Viper, the Poison Touch actually. And the Viper will take out the Vengeful Spirit. 12k gold lead now. This game's looking pretty unwinnable, even Dota Plus thinks so. It's just the blink of Axe just not coming fast enough. It's kind of what it feels like to play Axe these days. Well, actually, this isn't even like the representative Axe game. Sometimes you do really well in the lane and then you just fall flat in the mid game. But this game, he just got crushed in the early game, and he's not a hero this game. Spec queued up a Radiance, but the game's probably going to end before that. And we'll just see see how Google Team E look to approach to end this game. They're very far ahead right now. Maybe go back for an Aegis. The mech's halfway done on the Viper as well. I mean, if the Drow sees the Spectre, she can just kill the Spec, get a gust off, and then, I mean, the Axe is also very low here. There's no vision in the jungle by Google TV, but they're smoking in now. We'll see who they find the Spectre. Axe also goes down to solo by the Enchantress. 2 down. Spec doesn't have buyback. Axe does have buyback, but like, what's he gonna achieve with it? So it looks like they're gonna go. Drow with the level 4 aura gonna make this push really easy. Sniper gets gusted and slowed by the frost arrows. He's in a bit of trouble. Nice Chaos Golem comes out with the Fatal Bonds as well. We'll take out the Dazzle early on. But I don't know how they're going to kill the rest of them. Another Shrapnel comes out. That's his last Shrapnel charge. It was like mostly overlapping as well. And the damage does not stack, so it's not great. Sniper going to be able to take out the wards. The Haunt comes out to buy some time. But hopefully Sniper finishes off the wards. Some nice money to farm. He's got money for a Javelin. Actually picks on the Maelstrom first. I think the Javelin's a little bit better for damage output. It's 100 damage with a 25% chance. So that's basically 25 damage. Like, expected damage. And then the Mithril Hammer is 24. And the Javelin's also way cheaper. So usually you want to pick off the Javelin first. It's also magic damage, I guess. It's a little bit different. Depends who you're up against. Dazzle gonna go. He's got a medallion. Gonna finish an urn as well. A bit of a weird skill build coming out of Dazzle. No points in Grave. I guess he's up against the Axe. But the Axe has been a complete non-factor this game. And honestly, Axe can't always be there to dunk you. So even though usually when you're up against Axe, you should still put a point in Shallow Grave. Like, there's still some use you can make sure that like Axe tries to like, you can force Axe to overcommit to dunking the Shallow Grave target and take out the Axe afterwards as well. Hurricane pikes the Roche, but you can't attack Roche from outside the pit, unfortunately.
Just the touch.
And Poison Touch onto Roshan. That feels pretty dirty. They don't take this particularly fast. The Drow's not that farmed yet. Only 2 Wraith Bands. You normally see 3 on her. Viper gonna ship out the mech now. So Roche claimed by Google Team E, and yeah, this game's looking rough. That Ag's already done for the Enchantress. Hopefully she doesn't get too many uphill misses. That does happen in this high ground scenario. But gonna be dishing out the deeps on these impetuses. Her main bottleneck right now is the mana cost, because she has all this attack speed from the Drow Ranger. Look how fast she attacks. Second wards come out onto the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Atos onto the Sniper, gets Nether Toxin, but not gonna have too much misses uphill with the impetus. Alright, the Assassinate comes out onto the Shadow Shaman. Everyone's getting pretty low. The Fatal Bonds hits 4 heroes, which is pretty good. But Enchantress just gonna heal them up with the Nature's Attendants. Drow finally takes out the mid tower. They can go back for shrines if they want, but it's going to be pretty hard to stop them at this point. Sniper just going to instantly get blown up. He's also out of shrapnel charges, so wasn't able to hold back the enemy team for much longer at that rate.
Radiant's top tower is under siege. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And looks like Google Team E are going to be able to take this Rax.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked. Radiant's top tower is under siege. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
And gotta back off because Sniper's respawning now. Very disciplined of them, not gonna stay for any more. Gonna go back for the shrines now, and the bounty runes are coming up in a minute as well. So just keep the lanes pushed in, and you can grab all the bounty runes. Extend that gold lead even more. They're at the 1k gold advantage per minute mark, or whatever GPM per minute, I guess. It's definitely past the point of unwinnable for the side of $6 million Echo Slam. Axe still not able to get a blink yet. Maybe at this point he should just sell his Tranquil Boots and buy the blink, because these other items aren't doing anything. It's literally the only item in the game that's going to be able to make an impact at this point. But even then, it's going to be very tough. Spec, only 1k gold towards her Radiance, not able to be anywhere close. Enchantress is just going to run at the Spec, and the Spec is going to go down to just a couple impetuses. Haunt comes out, but the Spec's already dead.
Dire's bottom tower wicked sick.
Right.
Double kill.
The Enchantress just hitting some people with impetus. GG is finally called. Oh, the Vengeful Spirit goes down in base as well. That always feels bad. So great showing from Google Team E. It was a bit questionable. The Enchantress pick was a bit weird, but it worked out. Was apparently able to punish the sniper pretty hard. But they didn't even pick the Enchantress into the sniper. So I guess like feeling confident about mid Enchantress. It's not something we see too often. I thought the draft for Echo Global Logistics was pretty good, but they just got kind of run over. They lost all 3 lanes, and then you're up against a Drow Ranger, so it's pretty impossible to win at that point if you lose the laning phase against Drow.